Om Shanti, a warm greeting of peace to my sisters and my brothers. I have had the opportunity of going through the journal of exquisite exchanges, and I have to say they really are exquisite. And I remember so well that experience of the soul up in Paramdham and then being drawn by vibrations of love to enter the physical dimension and then to be able to come into a mother's womb, a palace that was waiting to welcome that point of light, and the experience of the soul in contact with physical matter for the first time. But of course, everything filled with such love and royalty and dignity and grace. And then the emergence of the child and the first contact with the parents. A very smooth transition from the mother's womb to the world out there, the first contact of love with the mother on an external physical level, drishti through the eyes, and then with the father also. And so a very, very lovely transition then. And the child, first of all, in contact with its own body, being able to experience that. What did it feel like? What was the joy of working through the body, of seeing, of hearing, of touching things, of feeling the exquisite nature of everything around itself? And then the communication. How does that work in Satyug? Think about your communication with Bapdada and the meeting through the eyes. Well, that tells you what Satyug will be like also. Meeting with each other, and a lot of the communication is just through the language of silence, the language of love, the language of thoughts, the language of the eyes. And yes, when the deities speak to each other, it's poetry. It's not just words that are being spoken, but it's poetry that is being shared. And when the deities move, what is it like at that moment? Every movement is so filled with grace and beauty that it's truly like a dance. And so every step along the journey of life, the journal reminds us of what the beauty of the Golden Age truly is. And when I use the word beauty, it's all-encompassing. It's the beauty of the spirit, the beauty of the soul, with all the divine virtues in perfect balance. We won't need to struggle with trying to find balance, but it'll be a natural state of balance. We are already following the path of dharma, the path of the spiritual laws. The dharma are the spiritual laws, the laws of righteousness. So we already do that anyway. So what we balance this with? Love. And we don't need to speak about law, but love is the dominant experience of the Golden Age. Love in which there's just an exchange of happiness and joy, and that is pure love. Nothing else of the past merged in it whatsoever, just a sharing of the moment with a great deal of joy and happiness. Think about the schools in the Golden Age. Think about the dancing of the Golden Age. Think about the travel in the Golden Age. Each and every aspect of life has been covered. Another very important thing, food. In Brahman life, Brahma Bhojan plays a major role within our development as Brahmins. Cooking in Baba's remembrance, offering it to Baba, then sharing it with all with love, eating it in Baba's remembrance. And in Satyug, Baba is far away, but what he taught us were the manners with which we would eat. We would sit together, and so the beautiful description that Baba has given us of how you just pluck a fruit from the tree and you can sip from it immediately. That you just press it and the juice will come out, and it'll come out very accurately. It won't spoil your clothes, it won't stain your clothes. It'll come out very neatly in a sweet flow. And so, first-class flowers, the beauty of those, just think about the colors of emeralds and rubies and sapphires, and the colors of the flowers will be like that, deep and brilliant and powerful. And yes, the light pastel shades also, but each color very different to the colors that we reproduce here. In Satyug, the sparkle of the flowers, of the jewels like radiant lights. and the perfume. No need to buy expensive bottles of perfume, because the water itself will have the scent and the fragrance of the herbs that it passes through. But the flowers also, the powerful scent of the flowers, which something like roses. I don't think there'll be the roses like we have here, but it'll be something much better, more brilliant. But those flowers will carry, each one with a different perfume, but each one with a fantastic fragrance that comes together. And as we walk through the beautiful gardens, we can smell that fragrance and we can feel it being carried in the wind. The music will come not only from instruments. Yes, there will be instruments that we'll play with, but the music will also come through the wind traveling through the trees. The music will come from the water bubbling along in its stream. Violence does not exist. Non-violence, ahimsa, is said to be the foremost quality of the deity religion. And we'll be watching that and experiencing that as a reality in the world at that time. So every step along the way, what else will I do? Yes, I'll go in my Viman to visit my neighbors, and the sky will be my highway. No traffic lights, no traffic jams, everything foolproof like Baba has said. Already you have buttons that you can push and the vehicle will lift off and become a plane. But a step further there, just the power of the mind, and the button will be pushed just through my thoughts. So don't even have to press buttons, just the power of thought reaching the buttons, and the Viman will lift off and carry me and those whom I love to go on my visit. And when we meet each other, we do so with that grace and dignity and respect and love. And so if one word that epitomizes Satyug is beauty, another word is love, and another word would be respect. respect not only for myself and my precious, beautiful body that is so cooperative and filled with light that it doesn't feel as if I'm carrying around a weight with myself at all. It feels light and easy and everything is smooth. But also love for nature, love for the animals and the birds and the bees, love for my neighbors. I'll be able to meet them again with that dignity and royalty, and we'll have an exchange in which there'll be happiness being shared. So another key word would be purity. Another word would be happiness. Maybe these words sum up that vision of the golden age that we have to make real here and now today. Are my relationships today anywhere near close to what it'll be like in the golden age? And the more I remember Baba's versions and the reminder of what Satyuga is like, that total state of being Satopradhan, soul and body and matter and relationships and food and vegetation, everything is Satopradhan, the fullness of purity. And the journal even takes you to the last stage of life. That description of how the soul will feel that it's time for this body to finish. I've used this body well, I've enjoyed everything I've done through it and all the relationships I've had through it, but now it's time to leave. There's a new set of parents waiting for me to arrive. There's a new home that's ready in my mother's womb, and I will just have a transition, leaving behind this skin and entering the next one. Just a very simple transition, no problem at all. And so the transition from one birth at the time of old age to the new age, the new baby, the new beginning, is such a smooth one that there is no such thing as death. The deities are immortal. And so, as I think about this vision and hold this vision in my awareness, I know that the more I do this, the more it will become a reality today. So visualize and experience and experiment, and those feelings of purity, love, and joy will emerge in your heart, and you'll be able to make it a physical reality here in the world today. Satyuga is not up above somewhere, Satyuga is down here. And let me share with you a few moments in which I share an experience of the Golden Age. I, the soul, enter this world of matter and enter my Satupradhan, little baby body, floating in the water of love. And when I'm ready to emerge, I meet my parents. And as I grow up, that experience of being light and easy and carefree, just simply dancing all the time, and knowing that there's total safety, I'm surrounded by love, I'm protected with God's blessings, and so nothing can go wrong. The joy of being light and free, the joy of sharing with love, truth, and beauty. As I cultivate this experience, it becomes a reality even here today. Om Shanti.